Kelp NSP, prevention and protection. Kelp brown algae ensures the normal functioning of the thyroid gland, accelerates the excretion of radionuclides and toxins from the body, improves metabolic processes, saturates the body with important nutrients. It is considered by scientists as an ecoprotective factor and as a primary preventive oncoprotective agent, strengthens the immune system. Natural iodine in the composition of the dietary supplement kelp compensates for the lack of this element in the daily diet. Kelp is a source of 12 natural vitamins A, B1, B2, C, D, T, etc., as well as essential amino acids. It also contains several dozen macro and micro elements necessary for a person: iron, sodium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, boron, bromine, iodine, selenium, manganese, potassium, sulfur, and others, and in the most accessible form for quick and most complete assimilation. What is valuable in the composition of kelp? Trace elements: iodine, vitamins, and alginates. The important role of iodine has long been proven. Sufficient intake of iodine with food is the protection of the thyroid gland. It is especially important at the risk of radioactive iodine intake. Damage by radioactive iodine occurred on the first day after accidents at nuclear power plants. People without iodine deficiency have a higher chance of staying healthy. Permanent iodine prophylaxis is the intake of foods that contain enough iodine. What is valuable in the composition of kelp? Trace elements: iodine, vitamins, and alginates. Alginic acid is a polysaccharide, a viscous substance extracted from algae. Salts of alginic acid: alginates. Alginates are characterized by the following types of biological activity: antimicrobial action, suppression of the activity of facultative flora, candida, and staphylococci, maintenance of natural intestinal microflora, hemostatic action, hemostatic, due to which they are effective in erosive and ulcerative processes in the gastrointestinal tract, improving the motor function of the intestine, which helps prevent constipation. Enveloping action, weakening of pathological reflexes, including pain, slowing down the rate of absorption of glucose from the small intestine. Immunomodulatory action, hypolipidemic effect, decrease in the level of atherogenic blood fractions, prevention of atherosclerosis, antitoxic and anti-radiation action, effective and safe binding of heavy metals such as lead, mercury, radioactive compounds such as cesium, strontium, and removing them from the body. The half-life of some elements is very long. Unfortunately, there are accidents at nuclear power plants. The use of weapons-grade plutonium is no secret either. Modern man has a risk of meeting with radionuclides, and this is a very likely meeting. The law of radioactive decay is the most important event in world science, opened by two scientists. This is Frederick Soddy and Ernest Rutherford. Each was subsequently awarded the Nobel Prize. They discovered this law experimentally and published it in 1903. So, for more than 100 years, humanity has been accumulating experience in interaction with radionuclides. What does this knowledge give each of us? Understanding a simple fact: we all need protection from radionuclides. Whether we meet them today or not, it doesn't matter. It is important that we are protected. Absolutely natural protection capable of absorbing and removing both toxins and radionuclides. Kelp is both food and protection. Iodine is an essential trace element for humans. It is necessary for the synthesis of thyroid hormones, which control the development and functioning of the brain and nervous system, regulate metabolic processes, and provide sufficient heat production, normal body temperature. A low level of these hormones can have an extremely negative effect on both the physical condition and the intellectual abilities of a person. According to the World Health Organization, more than 800 million people are at risk of health problems due to iodine deficiency in food produced in their areas of residence. Huge territories are endemic for iodine deficiency, with natural iodine deficiency. Usually these are territories remote from the seas. Iodine deficiency can be the cause of diseases that we do not always directly associate with thyroid dysfunction. For example, chronic fatigue, depressive state, irritability, overweight set, palpitations and discomfort in the heart, high cholesterol, constipation, dull skin, brittle hair and nails, intolerance to damp cold weather, constantly cold extremities, frequent colds. All this can be a consequence of iodine deficiency in the diet. Enough iodine can be obtained by taking iodized foods, for example, salt. If we compare the effects of taking kelp and iodized salt, it is obvious. With kelp you get at least two benefits. With kelp, you don't have to worry about overloading your body with excess sodium. This is important not only for people with high blood pressure and heart disease. Excess sodium is harmful to absolutely all modern people. Together with kelp you get not only iodine, but also a powerful nutritional, radioprotective, detoxifying complex of alginates, minerals, and vitamins. Low levels of iodine in the diet are recognized by scientists as a risk factor for women's health. Nutrition with sufficient iodine content is the prevention of many health problems, support and protection of the female body. Let's add, iodine is also useful and necessary in the diet for men and children. Kelp has antithrombotic activity. Thanks to the richest spectrum of nutrients, which are so lacking in the daily diet of a modern person. It heals all body systems. It affects the contractility of the heart muscle, prevents the development of arthritis, osteoporosis, dental caries, brittle nails, hair. It has a general strengthening effect. For ladies who want to lose weight, kelp can be a great helper. The role of kelp has been proven in nutrition, support and regulation of the endocrine system, activation of calorie burning, reduction of adipose tissue. It is no secret that our planet is progressively accumulating radioactive waste. This type of environmental pollution is increasingly affecting our health. Radioactive iodine is incorporated into the thyroid tissue if there is an iodine deficiency in the body. With good nutrition and good saturation with iodine, the risk of inclusion of radioactive iodine is significantly reduced. Radioactive strontium is a long-lived element that can accumulate in bone tissue. It causes internal irradiation of the body. The presence of strontium in soils, water, air, food is not felt by our senses. Alginic acids and their compounds are natural components of kelp that really help to bind and remove strontium and other dangerous elements from the human body. Alginates irreversibly bind strontium and other aggressive factors in the digestive system and accelerate their excretion from the body. Thus, kelp prevents the aggressors from settling in our body. This is how the radioprotective and detoxifying qualities of algae are manifested, which helped humanity survive quite serious upheavals. It is well known that in ancient Rome, ancient Greece, China, Japan, algae were food. Algae remains an important part of the diet in Asia. Growth, acquisition of new skills, education, development, immune protection, production of blood cells, division of all cells in the body. All these processes require energy, and kelp, synapses are points of contact between neurons. Chemical and electrical communication helps to quickly transmit information in the human nervous system. These are processes that require energy, and kelp, red blood, produced constantly. This is a process that requires energy. If there is anemia that is difficult to cure, you need to check the thyroid gland. If there is an iodine deficiency in food, there is always a risk of anemia. Immunity. Immune defense requires a constant expenditure of energy. Frequent colds, decreased immunity, the reason to check the thyroid gland. It's no secret that cancer is on the rise. Kelp is an excellent intestinal protection. Prevention of bowel cancer is possible. The intake of alginates, which bind and remove aggressive substances, helps in prevention. If there are such symptoms, the vitality is reduced. loss of energy, dry skin, memory problems, pain in muscles and joints. It could be hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is a decrease in thyroid function. Hyperthyroidism is not only due to iodine deficiency. There are other reasons as well, but the elimination of iodine deficiency is a simple and effective prevention. The body produces energy from food. Energy is needed to digest food. Energy is necessary for the synthesis of vital substances. All processes occurring in the human body require energy. There is an important condition for generating energy: active metabolism. Active metabolism is provided by thyroid hormones. Iodine is needed for thyroid hormones to work. Iodine deficiency provokes a whole chain of problems. The connection between the disease and iodine deficiency is not always obvious, but it is definitely there if there is not enough iodine in the food. Kelp is a prophylactic for diseases caused by iodine deficiency: thyroid diseases, atherosclerosis, coronary heart disease. In some thyroid diseases, the intake of products containing iodine may be limited. Please consult your physician. Why Kelp NSP is the best choice? Algae are collected in the most gentle way. Kelp NSP is an environmentally friendly substance. The extraction method is environmentally friendly. Right now, in our time, active prevention is very important. Be healthy. Kelp NSP for active prevention.